All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. Prophet John here. Hope you guys are doing well. All right. So Donna Brazil, stirred up some stuff this morning by going into skin color again, and but this time it's about stimulus checks. New studies are out, and it says that. And this is from Bloomberg, by the way. So this is Bloomberg. So it's not really Donna Brazil. She's just posting what Bloomberg is posting. The elites are. This is Bloomberg, the elites, right? And so it says that from Bloomberg here that recent stimulus checks arrived at wealthier white households more quickly than to those of blacks and Hispanics in the new study find. Isn't that shocking? Is anybody shocked by that? I mean, once again, these people literally think that Caucasians or the elites are going to create a system and then benefit people that don't look like them before they benefit the people that do look like them. It doesn't make sense to me. I think I think it does make sense to those it makes sense to. It's kind of hard to explain it, but there, I think people are having a hard time with this because that's not their mentality. Like their mentality is to give to everybody at the same time. There is no superiority or whatever, however you say it, right? There's nobody that is more beneficial than another person. Everybody's equal. That's how most of that's how most of the world thinks. But there's a group of people, the elites, and we talked about the zionists yesterday, that don't think like that. It's them and everybody else needs to be beneath them and it needs to be under their power and control. Even people that look like them, right? So are fighting against these people, right? So, but as you can see here from Bloomberg, the elites are telling you that, look, we send out the checks to the people that look like us before we send it out to the people that don't look like us and deal with it. Right? So these are things that they're putting these things out because they want backlash from this. That they want to continue this race war. They want to continue this skin color war, and so they're gonna start putting things out like this and show you that, hey, we don't care. We don't care anymore. We're not gonna hide our favoritism. We're not gonna hide our prejudice. We're not gonna hide our racism or whatever you want to call it, because we know racism is not really what it is. They changed it. We're gonna hide everything. We're gonna hide our hatred. We're not gonna hide our hatred anymore, right? We're gonna literally tell you we're not sending you anything before we send these people, right? And to people that look like us. And so, and Donna Brazil put this out there and from Bloomberg. So I thought that was interesting that she wanted to stir that pot. But at the same time, it is coming from the elites, right? The elites are the ones stirring the pot because they want to keep this division going, and they want to keep this race thing going, and they want to let people know that, look, we're gonna favor our people before anybody else, and it's their system. And technically that's what they're supposed to do in the first place, right? If you are somebody, let's say you're a Caucasian person and you're listening to me right now, and you are you're on your way to Africa, right? Is Africa supposed to take care of you first, or supposed to take care of their village people first? Right? You them to feed their village people first before they feed you. Right? Now, of course, if you're an honorary guest and they have enough food, maybe they'll feed you first as an honorary guest, and then because they have enough food to feed the people. But if they don't have enough food to feed everybody, they're gonna they supposed to make sure their people are fed first before anybody else, any outsider, right? Just like you as a Caucasian person would do the same thing if you're living in England or America or Germany or anywhere. You'll make sure your family's fed first before you feed me. If there's not a lot left, you'll make sure they get their pieces, and then whatever's left, you'll feed the guests. All right, and so it's the same thing. It's the same thing here. So am I angry about, what, Caucasians are getting their got their checks before everybody else? No, because it's the elite system, right? You know, like we need to stop with this unfairness in somebody else's system. It's the same thing in the NFL and the NBA, and you can see all these people rules and regulations of the NFL and the NBA. Well, then create your own system, create your own league, and that's the problem. It's like we want to cry instead of create. When did we get to this point where we cry instead of create? We must create then, okay? If you don't like something, then create your own. It's the same thing on social media. We don't like something, we have to create our own. I remember when YouTube was coming after me, and I was going through all those problems with YouTube, right? And I was crying about it and crying about it and crying about it. You know what I mean? And people are like, man, just move to somewhere else or do this or do that, right? And so, and I thought about like, yeah, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing? Crying over YouTube's bothering me or attacking me or censoring me. Who cares, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, like it's their system. They can do. They own the system, and you're using that system. And so if they don't like what you say, then they can censor you if they want to, bruh. It's their system, right? And so we have to realize that okay, we're in this system that the elites built and the Zionists built, and of course they're gonna favor the people that look like them more than they favor Spanish people or African Americans or Cubans and Mexicans and whatever you want to call it, right? So they're gonna favor them. That's common sense, right? But to those who have a mindset of no, everybody's equal under a system, then it's hard to accept, right? It's hard to accept that that the system will be created, and the people who created the system, those who look like them, are going to be favored in that system. It's hard. It's kind of hard for some people to grasp when it's really not hard at all. It's really simple, right? But we keep trying for equality and integration and equality, and all that stuff is just literally it's just been absolutely horrific for the bronze people. But the people they keep it's not like I'm not saying that and it's the system, right? It's the system the integration in this type of system is not good. It's not healthy. If they remove the system, and then there's no need for integration and all that stuff, because no one has any there is no such thing as white power or white supremacy if you remove the system, right? There's only those things under a system. But if you remove the system, then there's nothing like that anymore, and everybody's equal under a country without a system and just a constitution. But the constitution would need to be reworked and redone. It would need to be a brand new constitution that includes everybody and makes nobody a property, because under the old constitution, African Americans, ADOS are properties, right? And so, I mean, imagine that. Imagine the mindset of a human being writing in a document that you are a property. I mean, you can only and when Nick Cannon calls these people savages, and you're written as a property under in the Constitution, that says it all right there. The mindset of the Zionists, right? That you as a human being that breathes and that breathes and can worship and can praise and can sing, and that you're a property in documented form. That's unbelievable. I can't even imagine writing that down. Anybody, I don't care who you. I don't write that down for my enemies, right? my enemies are property. Like that's beyond comprehensible. To be in that time, and then to write down the African Americans or the ADOS people, the Negroes, the Negro slaves, the Negro blacks are property. Like you gotta be one of some of the most evilest people that down on document paper, knowing that that's going to be carried for another 100, 2, 3, 4, 500 years or more. This is why people are saying or people are prophesying that a new constitution will be coming out. They're gonna have to do a new constitution. They might even, and also people have prophesied that the name of America will be changed. You won't be the United States of America any longer. It'll be it will be the Republic of America, or so United America, the Republic, or something like that, with a brand new constitution that includes everybody as equal and no longer property and all this other crap that they have gotten away with. The Zionists, right? Because I'm not talking, and when I say these things, people literally are like, well, I'm from Kansas and I'm just a white woman from Kansas with a white husband, and we just go to work and have fun and come home and raise our children to be Christ-like and beautiful. You have a problem with that. Well, we're not talking about you people, man. Okay. All right, we're talking about the people that are in control, and you guys know that because a lot of Caucasians are actually battling those people as well. So you know what I mean, and we see it all over. I know Press Resetter and all these other people, they're battling these savages as well. Okay, these Zionists, right? So yeah, so this is what's going on. Don't be surprised about this. This is normal. They built the system. They're going to take care of their own first before they take care of anybody else. That's common sense. All right. So, but of course, if you don't think that way, then and you think, well, if I build a system, I'm going to help everybody at the same time. Well then you're not going to be able to grasp it. But these people built the system, and they're going to make sure their people are taken care of first. That is. And also, we talked about home, and we said that June and July could be the start of the home crash, and then people were telling me, well, maybe not, because Donald Trump's allowing these people to stay in the homes even if they don't pay rent, and there's a lot of forgiveness stuff going on right now, and then maybe even some debt cancellations that might happen. So maybe we won't see the housing crash in June or July, and it might happen later, or it might not even happen at all. Who knows? But 32% of people didn't pay their rent or their mortgages, and in the month of June, so that's eye-boggling. And then we also have this from Zero Hedge. It starts mortgage suddenly soar at a record pace. So there it goes. So it's just going normal, and then boom, there it goes. So people are not able to pay, and it says that here comes the impact on the pandemic, right? So let's watch this housing stuff here moving forward. These next 2 weeks into July and into August and September, because they might see a lot of news on housing coming up very soon, especially if people continue to not pay their mortgages. This is going to be a problem, right? And so that's why they're trying to get these stimulus checks out. The second round of these stimulus checks are trying to come out because people aren't paying their mortgages, people aren't paying their rents and stuff, all their properties. And now what's going to happen is these homeowners are going to be like, you got to get out if you ain't paid. You ain't paid in 3 months. Like, you got to get out. I got to get somebody else in there that can pay. I need this income, right? So people, Donald Trump's gonna have to make a decision here, because he put a rule out there that you can stay in your house for 90 days without paying rent. Remember that? So he did I think it was an executive order that no one can be kicked out of their house or a rental property or a rented room or whatever it is, the case that you're doing, for 90 days. They can be rent free for 90 days under the executive order or whatever it was. But that's coming to an end, right? I think this is the last month. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it was for April, May, June. It might be over now, right? So people are not paying their rent still. So what's going to happen is the housing people, you own a rental property and people are in there and they can't pay it because they don't have a jobs. You're gonna have to make a tough decision, like, yo, I need this money, and you guys aren't paying. So either you guys need to find a job very quickly and prove that you have a job, and so that I know that money's gonna start coming in, or you guys have to get out, right? So tough decisions are going to have to start being made with house owners and rental properties and things like that here in the month of July and August and September. So it's going to affect the housing markets tremendously, especially out there in California and also New York and Massachusetts and of course Boston area and just Connecticut and high Miami, like high property valued areas, Dallas, Texas, and Chicago. Like the places that the freaking rent is really, really extremely expensive, like Seattle, Washington. Like these places are gonna need to. There's going to be some decision making happening here in the next 3 months because it looks like a lot of people can't pay rent, can't pay mortgages, and we'll see what happens, I guess. All right, so that's it. Peace out, God bless, and I'll talk to you guys later. And yeah, don't be discouraged because somebody creates a system and then they help the people that look like them inside the system. Don't be discouraged. Just be like, okay, well, that's what they're doing. That's because they created the system. If I want to help my people, I need to create my own system. Okay, and so that's it. Just have that mindset. Peace out. God bless. Bye.